Hi, everyone. It's Deborah Sunderland. I want to say sorry for the LinkedIn Live glitch. It was not connecting to StreamYard, and it was my first time. So I'm sending this, I'm recording Zoom for you so you can have a taste of what today was going to be like. Hopefully LinkedIn and StreamYard will be connected. They're having an issue right now. I was just emailed that, so I was not able to go live. So here I am. Happy Friday. The reason I want to share my heart, my thoughts with you is because I see these amazing leaders, business owners, CEOs running really hard, making money, growing their business, and they're striving and they're running and they're striving and they're running, and they repeat the same pattern every day. And they're not getting the results they really want in their life and their work. Typically, they have a list of tasks to do, and they'll even show them to me or a whiteboard, and they'll just be checking off the boxes. And I wonder where they got those every day, right? And if you're like me, and the way I used to live and sometimes still do, I've got to catch myself, is the things I've got to get done today, right? We do that. And then we set our goals for next year, the things I got to get done for next year or next quarter, and where is that coming from? It's coming from, and you can feel it, this adrenaline, this feeling of fear, this feeling of running to get. And that's what I call our scarcity mind. That's the ego, the amygdala, the small part of our brain that's trying to keep you safe. And we've developed patterns to keep ourselves safe, thank goodness, our entire life. But in relationships and in work and growing our business, to be safe doesn't work, because it's going to keep us from going past what we've created. We're going to keep repeating the same cycle over and over again. So how do we break that pattern? It's how do we get out of that adrenaline scarcity, I have to, going to the future creates fear and anxiety because the amygdala wants to know. And so it actually, when we don't know something, it generates adrenaline in our body. And when we have adrenaline running in our body, we really can't see straight. We only see the future. And we usually only come up with one or maybe two options, because literally what happens is our body tightens and we're not fully oxygenating. This is science now. And the body's going into protection mode. And we're trying to create a thought that's going to support us, but we really usually are falling short of what is going to be exciting for us, what is from our heart, what's going to excite us. But it's also a bit of a stretch because we haven't done it before. So there will be a little bit of fear. And so we tend to not go to our heart. We get caught up in our head and we can't figure out an answer. So the reason we do this is because we have learned safety patterns our entire life. We've been told from the outside world, from school, from being in organizations of work, of what needs to get done in order to be fulfilled and to have success. Well, I shouldn't say fulfilled, to have success. So we've created a lot of things in life that have success, but we're typically not fulfilled. And why is that? It's because we're just using the amygdala part of our brain, and it's driving us and we're unaware, and we're not listening to what our heart wants. And I believe you all have a desire that you want to create in this world that's beyond getting things done. And when we don't have that fulfilled, it causes inner stress in us. It causes disharmony inside of us because we're doing something, we don't want to do it, but we're not doing what we do want to do. And we're too afraid to let go of that task that's going to free us to do what we most want to do. How many times have I heard people say, I really need this job to get money, but it's not what I most want to do? Have you done it? Do you know when someone else that's doing it? We hear that all the time. So my work is to help people let go of that fear that comes up in us when we're starting to make decisions. We make decisions all the time, small, large, anywhere in between. And when we're making those decisions, if they're based on fear, I'm going to call them scarcity. We're always going to get scarcity results. Scarcity breeds scarcity, and there's no way we can get out of it. So my work has been to teach people breathing practices, how to fully breathe so we can get our brain oxygenated, to listen to our heart, to pause, to take a breath instead of being reactive and running fast and hard. That's our automatic pattern that we set for most of our life in America, is to achieve, to achieve, to achieve. And that pattern has served us well, but it's not going to serve us going forward. So how do we rewire our thinking? Because our thinking, our thoughts, generate our emotions. This is science now, called emotional intelligence. And then those emotions create our behaviors. We can't just change our behaviors to get a different result. We actually have to go back to, what am I thinking when I'm thinking about what I want to plan for my day, for my month, for my year? Am I excited about it, or am I nervous and scared about it? And I feel this push like I have to do it. And that's when we notice that push, is when we pull back and to do our breathing exercises, because that's when it actually allows us to take a pause and fill the lungs, because they're not being filled, to actually oxygenate the brain, and then get curious. It allows us to get curious. Could there be other ways of doing my work? Could there be other ways of bringing what I most love to my work? Could there be other ways of living and making plans? So my work is to help people get out of that reactivity, the run, to take a pause, to breathe, to ask themselves, what are they thinking? This is a practice, guys, because it's not what we've been taught to do. How do I feel when I believe that thought? And what do I most want to create? Now, when we're triggered, we got to allow that trigger to go past us. Why are we triggered? Triggers come from fear. Triggers come from the outside, that we're triggered on the inside. We're responsible for our triggering. No one can make us think a thought. No one can bring our feelings to us, and no one can bring our behaviors. That's totally up for us to do. And so my work is teaching people radical responsibility. I'm the creator of how I feel, what I think, my behaviors, and all my outcomes. And if they're not the results I want, the outcomes I want, how is it my teacher? Instead of blaming myself or someone else, how can I look at it as, I might have been creating my decisions on a scarcity thought. Can I go back to maybe what I was thinking when I set out to fulfill this plan or this goal? And can I remember how I was feeling when I had that thought? Now, I'm telling you this because 96 to 98% of the time we are unconscious to our present moment. And when we are unconscious, guess what's driving us? It's our automatic patterns, our automatic thinking that we've created our whole life. So my work is to bring us back to present, so we can start to notice what we're thinking and be the chooser of what we want to think, instead of just running, being the chooser of how we want to feel, being the chooser of the goals we want to set once we get into this spacious place of breathing. And you can feel it when you're breathing. You have more space inside of yourself. So I'm offering just a tiny overview tidbit, a quick one for you to understand. We're going to be working on, I'm offering for 90 days starting in January, for 7 meetings from January until the very first week of April, how to set your goals, how to fulfill your goals from a purpose-driven space. And you're going to get to start to understand, what is your purpose that excites you for the beginning of the year? What is your purpose for the long haul? Let's get creative and fun and come back to you, instead of just being the taskmaster and the doer, which is really causing you to suffer. You know you want more than this. So we're going to be sending out a way for you to sign up. It'll be Tuesdays. I'm going to be offering this every second Tuesday for those 3 months, from 12:30 to 1:30 Central Time. We'll be on Zoom if you sign up, and everyone can join together, because we're going to learn together. And then the other time, we're going to do that actually every second and fourth Wednesday, I'm reading this. We will be offering 12:30 to 1:30 time to be on Zoom to learn your purpose-filled goals. And we're going to look at where you're falling from that as a learning, not a blame or a shame, right? Because the blame comes from our own self. We're hard on ourselves, but how do we even break that pattern so we can get curious about a new path? Because when we're blaming and shaming, we can't get creative. And then I'm also going to offer, for those who can't make the 12:30 to 1:30, to join me from 5 to 6 p.m. on Wednesday as well, the every second just the every second of the month. We'll send that out to you. So you get to pick 2, and you can sign up to be supported and coached by me with a group of people who are wanting to create their life differently, to create their work differently, to fulfill what they most want. So reach out to me, Deborah at sunderlandcoaching.com.